Man is tired, fam. I'm tired.
Go back to the tired Deji again.
You know what?
Deji used to pull up on the podcast at least twice a month. I'm too tired for this, man.
Oh my god. I saw Briggs go yesterday, yeah. Because we went Villa. I saw Briggs go yesterday, yeah. And he's like,
Briggs, I hate that became a thing for him.
Yeah. And he was like, "Did you go home? You're not supposed to be here. It's not your scene."
Damn. And he said, "You was old, nigga."
Did you guys feel old going to Villa? Because there's certain thing I feel now. I'm a bit old for that side.
Oh no, definitely, 100%.
Yes, but it's because we saw all of the kids that we knew as kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you know what? I fuck with them though. Like,
Shout out to having kids, man.
because what's called, bro, fam, all of them are driving big whips and shit. I'm just seeing Mercs, Audis,
Yeah,
Beamers.
It looked like a Fast and Furious scene.
They work early. They start working because a lot of us, I feel anyways, we were still in college. A lot of us probably weren't even working, just getting Susie. But they start making money from 17, 18 because they see lifestyle on Insta. And they still get into the 9 to 5, the 9 to 5, they get into jobs. But I know a lot of my friends weren't really even doing retail or anything.
Bro, I couldn't find a retail job. I was begging for one.
Yeah.
Susie was my only.
Yeah, that was the case for a lot of my friends. Nobody was whipping like that. And it's only by 21 people start getting their jobs, and obviously they have to save by the time they get to 25. Then,
bro, I got my first whip at what? 21.
Yeah, I got my first shit whip early. My first proper whip, I was maybe just 3 years ago now, 25, 26.
No, what's called? Yeah.
I only got a whip because I had to fucking drive to Pfizer at the time. And I was because before where I was working, I could take the train. I was like, I'm saving money on petrol. Bus it, train it, get to Moylan, and then.
I can't live without a car anymore.
Yeah.
I know I've been spoiled over the last year and a bit. I've been spoiled.
You haven't what?
I've been spoiled. I used to just be comfortable with public transport. I just got used to it.
Well, you live in London, innit?
Yeah,
but that's good for public transport.
It's decent, but there's rush
rush
hour times,
yeah.
mornings, when it gets busy or when it shuts down.
Yeah,
long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I don't understand how people live in London because if there's matches,
yeah,
it's shut down. It's gridlock.
Especially if they manage it better because different areas will have different teams playing at different times. But there's a couple times where
you probably because it's probably been going on for so long that you find a system that works for everybody. Because when I'm in London, I don't see the hassle of public transport at all. I'm walking and I'm seeing 2 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes,
and
11 minutes.
You know what's so funny? When someone comes, it's 2 minutes.
Yeah, but the thing is that 2 minutes is for the connecting one. Oh, so if you're heading on the Jubilee line, 3-4 stops,
5 minutes, man. Yeah. I've done you have to get on the Jubilee line, get on this line, to get on that line. I've done all of that. Still two. I get
just don't come on a weekend where there's strikes.
But you know what it is though. When you're there, you're on holiday, so you don't really need to be anywhere on time.
That's true.
So you're just kind of no, fuck it. It is what it is.
If it's 4 minutes, what is it? 4 minutes? What's 4 minutes?
Yeah, but if you get to work 4 minutes late and you're on your last strike,
long. Right?
What's up, Moyo? I have a icebreaker for you.
Oh, great!
This is very football specific.
Oh, great! Hey, do you know what's funny? I think it was Manny's one that you guys did, and I was like, I would have done decent at this. All the other ones. Rubbish. Absolutely.
Yeah,
rubbish.
Manny's one was, to be fair, I did Manny's one just before I left.
Manny's one was so easy.
Yeah, but this one should be easy for you.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to say, guess the top goal scorer of all time for the following. I'm going to do clubs and then countries.
Oh, God.
That's tough.
That's easy. That's easy. Who's Arsenal's all-time top goal scorer?
Thierry Henry.
Yeah, see?
That's an easy start.
You're
easing me into it.
They're all easy. Chelsea's.
Frank Lampard.
United's.
Wayne Rooney.
Spurs.
Harry Kane. Well, Jimmy Greaves technically. Well, we're looking at league record. Premier League record.
Liverpool.
Oh.
Liverpool's
kind of tough because I don't know how long they had their best strikers for. Can't be Salah, can it?
No, it's Ian Rush.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah, Napoli.
Shit.
This one surprised me. I can't believe it's the person.
Mertens. You gave away when you said this one surprised me because you have an agenda against that guy.
Nah, Maradona paid for these guys. And Dries Mertens is the guy that nobody knows who the guy is.
Mertens has been there a long time.
And Insigne is number 2. Fuck that club. Apology. Anyway,
they've had Cavani as well. But.
Yeah, Bayern Munich.
Oh,
I thought these would be easy, man.
They're not.
A football coach, you know.
Yeah, I coach detail. I don't actually worry about stats. You're rude.
I'm on the grass. We're doing the nitty gritty.
Yeah, we are doing
Answer
the
the
nitty
question,
gritty. Mini peps and that. No, it's so unrecent. Is it Gerd Muller?
It is good, bro.
So
But
it's
that's
not
not
so
recent.
it's not so unrecent. But I meant
PSG
Zlatan.
and Mbappe.
Oh, he's taking over.
Yeah, it's taking over.
Fair.
That record's been broken 3 times in my life. Fake club as well.
It's a fake club. They wouldn't been alive.
Real
how long?
Madrid.
Ooh.
Ronaldo. Yeah. So do you want to do countries or is that enough?
Like, let's do countries.
Okay, right.
I won't know countries, but
No, countries.
I want the
Portugal.
information. Ronaldo,
Argentina.
Messi,
Poland.
Lewandowski,
Brazil.
That was-
Neymar.
And Pele. They're tied at the minute.
Yeah, fair.
Belgium.
Lukaku,
Yep. Uruguay.
Suarez,
Yep. Ireland.
Robbie Keane,
Cote d'Ivoire. Ivory Coast.
Drogba,
Yep. Bosnia.
Dzeko,
Sweden.
Zlatan.
Spain.
Ooh. David Villa.
Yep. England.
That bastard Harry Kane.
Yep. USA.
Took off Rooney. What a prick. Oh, Donovan or Dempsey.
It's actually both. So
Fair.
at the minute, yeah, they're tied. So I'll give
Fair.
you both. Cameroon.
Etu.
France.
Shit. Giroud.
Yep. Serbia.
Mitrovic.
Yep. Mexico.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was Chicharito. I can't remember that one actually. I don't have them in here. Chile.
Sanchez.
Ukraine.
Shevchenko.
Finland.
Pookie.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Fair.
that's it.
Honestly,
The
you know
countries
what?
one was easier than
Yeah.
the club one.
You know
The club-
what,
I knew they were easy.
I actually don't understand how you man retain so much football information.
Oh, it's easy when you love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
Like, yeah, it's,
Nah,
it's like people that listen to music have so much music knowledge and that about music they just retain it.
Yeah, but music, you only have so many songs a artist can release. With football, there's like,
But I don't mean like by artists. I just mean like they'll have knowledge about music and
Yeah.
music is so
but
fast.
with football, I always find like, so I find it fascinating when some people's like they can name the whole this year team down to the bench. This person had this many assists. This transfer was here. He came from here. He went to here. Bro, like it's a lot of knowledge.
No, it is. To be fair, it's like it's one of the things. It's like I retain it, and then the last of my missus be like, you don't remember this though.
Yeah, she asked you, what's your favorite color? But you remember Chelsea?
I can remember Chelsea starting.
It's like, what color shoes did she wear with that dress when you guys went for dinner last week?
Or,
Who cares, man? I'm just gonna go for dinner. I just wanna go for dinner at that stage.
It's like you didn't equalize like late in the game to help us take the game to penalties to win the Champions League in
back
2012.
in those days.
So like,
let me plug in a quick intro. Let's talk about the show we did yesterday. Anyways, we are here. We are charged to the game. We are a podcast with the highest level of analysis the culture
bang,
needs.
bang.
I'm Uncle Jay, but you mans call me Jordan, and I'm here with.
You know, it's your girl's favorite voice, Big Deji, nigga with the Midas touch.
what a stupid intro.
You've known Deji for years,
What?
yeah?
This is my guy, man.
This
As
is
his
my
voice
touch.
sounded like that, how does he come?
Don't lie.
When the intro comes on,
Don't lie.
does he put out better sauce when the intro's on?
It's been like that a while. It's been like that a while.
See, now I can put it
But
to rest.
my question is the Midas touch bit. Like, what are you touching?
You went to my event yesterday.
Jeez, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair
Okay,
enough.
okay. Who
Okay.
you got here today?
My name's Moyo. That's all you need to know.
Okay, I
Yeah,
thought you
Moyo's
were
my-
gonna say more easy.
Nah, it's Muchisi. But
Okay,
it's
This is my-
3
this is my-
E's.
This is my nigga from long time.
yeah. This I
stuck
think
with
they
this guy.
just told a story where he's heard Moyo getting beaten and he was on the stairs and he legged the home on the podcast before.
Real
No,
friends.
no.
How many of
No,
us?
it was a live show. No, you know what? Yeah. So all of my stories that start with nonsense of have nonsense in them usually starts with I was with Moyo and
Some would say we're bad for each other.
you know what? We need to do an episode. Me, Moyo, you, Chris.
Yeah, you guys have like that toxic relationship that they just claim to like. You can say like toxicity, so maybe that's why you're friends.
No, definitely, because some of the stuff he's mentioned on the pod that we've done, people will listen to it and be like, "You guys aren't good together. Like, what's going on
What's this
here?"
friendship based on?
But yeah, it is a little bit toxic. But
Look, you know what it is, yeah. For me, always my level of whatever I'm gonna do is usually dependent on who I'm with. Like I don't like if I go, so I might throw out a random statement and be like, you know, fuck it, let's do this, and I'm only half meaning it,
Yeah.
and he'll just be like, yeah, come, and then now I have to commit.
I'm just matching the energy that's put out. To be fair,
Just say I'm joking, man. Man, relax.
No, it's too late. It's too late. Because like I half want to do it.
And you just needed someone else. But you know that he's gonna back it. So if you say to him, You're saying it knowing he's gonna back us.
Oh,
So you really want to do
I'll co-sign
it.
it.
So you don't want to have to. You really want to do it.
Like there was one time there was a party going on in London and it was last minute. I was like, Moyo, I'm thinking about to go into this party. He's like, do it. I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. He said, you're a bitch, do it.
And flights were crazy.
But if I'm booked flights, I was in London less than 12 hours later.
Was the party worth it?
Nope. Nope.
I see. That's one thing about Deji. I just don't understand how you do. Like you can just do things like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I can't wake up on a Saturday and if I didn't have plans that day, you're telling me let's go this party this evening. There's no way I'm going. It's not me, but Deji will catch a flight and go to that party. Whereas I'm just like, if you don't give me a week's notice, I'm not doing it.
But has that always been you, or is it now that you have someone to answer
No,
to?
it's always been me. Like if I go into a week, like if I go into that week and I'm just like, there's nothing happening that day, you can't tell me on the Saturday morning, say, oh, let's go here at 8 p.m. I'm like, man, you told me.
Should give me 2 to 3
You should have given me like at least
business days to know.
before I needed a couple, maybe you called me by Wednesday. Why you tell me the Friday, Saturday off? I'm staying in my house, man. But you will catch flight and leave the country.
You said you were going to do it last week as well. You're like, oh, I didn't guys know I would have. Like, you were looking at flights and it was literally the day.
Yeah,
I was supposed to go, but then what happened.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Let me be an adult and not go.
Yeah.
And then these niggas like, we're going day party. And I'm like, y'all nigga tell me that.
It's fair play, man. So, because you sometimes need that spontaneity, especially like if you have no one to answer to.
No, but you know what it is,
means.
But you know what it is, yeah? For me, I don't feel like I've ever, like, I always have plans and shit, but I always feel like I've always kind of just done things on impulse, like last minute. Like, and also being a procrastinator, you kind of have to
do shit last minute.
Be comfortable with just doing everything last minute. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that's just always been me. I was gonna say, do you feel like you're that way? Well, you know when you were growing up, yeah? Did you have to give your parents notice before you went out?
Yeah.
So is that why you're that way now?
Probably, yeah. Probably, it's definitely a big part of why I'm that way. And I'm just like, a part of it is also, I like, you know, we do the pod anyway. So sometimes I'm like, I'll text you on Mondays, like, when are we recording? Which guests are we coming on? So I know, like, 3 days in advance. I'm structured. Like, I don't want to know the day before, oh, yeah, let's record tomorrow. It's like, like who knows what's happening tomorrow and who knows? Like, I just need to know the Monday, okay, we're recording Thursday, and Moyo's on the podcast.
Structure and routine is
and that's just how I am. It's just how I am. But, he's the opposite, and which is for like me actually giving credit to this. It's actually been beneficial in terms of the podcast because yesterday we had a show. And if it was up to me, I don't think at this stage yet, I would have looked at the numbers we're pulling in. I would have looked at the followings that we have. I was like, maybe it's a bit premature. Let's raise our number. And Deji, to be fair to him, his way of saying like, fuck it, let's just do it. Like, actually made me see it the other way. It's like, yeah, why am I waiting to have, let's say, 1,000 listens a week or 1,000 followers a week? Why can't I feed the crowd that we have now with an event? And if 50 people show up, 30 people show up, good, let's have an event cater to 30 people. And at least now we'll know when we want to do future events, what kind of events we should be doing. And maybe I needed Deji to kind of be like, let's do it. But because it was me, personally, I would have been like, nah, Deji, we don't have the followings yet. We don't have the numbers yet. But my brother said, yeah, just do it scared. If you're scared to do it, just do it scared. One thing about doing like content and being out in the public is sometimes I feel like insecure and vulnerable and failing in front of people. You're throwing an event and you're doing this and like 10 people show up and now everybody knows, 10 people showed up at your event. I've taken failures before. They just told me, why don't you just pass? I've taken failures, but I've never taken failures in front of people. Yeah. So sometimes I get really insecure and really paranoid about it. But they just like, and I appreciate that. I was like, yeah, because I'm like, you know what? If 30 people show up, at least we know where we are. Next event, we do a cater to 30 people and we make sure that 30 people have a goddamn time. So why wait until we have 1,000 people? But sure, no, fair play to you on that aspect though. That's kind of what it's showed me as well.
You know what it is like, because I was like that as well. Like I thought we had to be a certain level to do this and do this and do this, and it's just kind of like, let's just fucking do it. Do this shit, right? I agree. Whatever. But it's just for giving flowers, you know, man. Shout out to you, man. Like, because I'm not gonna lie to you, this podcast would not. I always say, if it wasn't for Jordan, this podcast is not happening. He takes all the guests, he does the socials, he does all the shit that I don't want to do. Yeah,
no, it's just about the balance. How did you find the event? Talk about the event yesterday, anyways. How did you find it?
First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that came out, man. Like, I'm just grateful for people coming out. I hope everyone had a great time because I had a fantastic time. And you know what? Yeah, shout out to everybody that was there because I thought that people wouldn't want to perform, but you know how people get shy, people just don't really want to do it. But people were just, I want to perform, like, because obviously we had, because how we did it, we had
shared notes.
Yeah. So if you come to me or you Jordan or whatever, or my brother was on. Side note, happy birthday, Yusuf. Shout out to my brother.
Happy
Is his
birthday,
birthday today?
Literally
GB.
today, right now.
Right, we're recording
Yeah,
this
nah,
on
man.
the Sunday. It's coming out Wednesday, but GB, shout out you.
Yeah, man, happy birthday party, bro. But yeah, so like, because he was at the door and he's like, oh, at the door, you're saying people's names and like, oh, do you want to do perform or whatever? At first, some people were like, nah, I don't want to do that, and then people were just coming up performing, and then I'm just looking at the list and it's growing.
It's growing.
It's growing.
People that were telling me at the start, like, shout out Sean, he did holler at your boy. He was adamant, I'm not doing it. No, I just came here to see it. And then he called me and said, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
was
so
like, shout out you, Sean.
shout out Sadiq. Sadiq said, I'm not doing it. He came again.
They followed up.
Nah, man, it was good vibes. Also, I said I'll give a special shout out to Yolanda. Came all the way from Limerick.
Oh, is that where she came from?
I went back to Limerick
The
last
same night. No, fair
Yeah,
play,
nah,
man.
shout out, man, like-
Shout out Yolanda. She
Can
came
I
up
just
as well.
say I didn't get a shout out and I came from places as well. But
Yeah, but you didn't go back the same day. So
I see how it is. I see where the favoritism. I get jealous. It is what it is. Same way I didn't get a trophy yesterday. I'm still petty about that.
You said you were nervous, and Demi trapped them. You said, as a man.
I was pretending I was
As a
forming.
man, why are you
Goddamn.
nervous?
So it's you can't have it. You can't be nervous as a man.
as a man,
As a man, I didn't say
or
it. I'm just saying trapped
don't
them.
admit it at least.
But now for me, it's like
So-
I've said
so
it. Like
safe
the event side of the podcast is the event that makes me feel like vulnerable and insecure because you're about to find out how many people fuck with you, and a good indicator is who's gonna give you their time, their money, come into town, and everybody can listen to you from home. Everybody can see you at an event that they're already there and say, hey, I love your podcast, man. It's calm. All those things I do appreciate it. But an indicator is like, you know what? It's my Saturday. It's my one free day of the week. What am I doing with this time and money? You know what? Let me pay and go see Charget's event. So sometimes I'm like,
to town.
Sometimes I'm like, what if 10 people show up? Or what if this? And again, over the last 2 years I've said to Deji, I've only been like sick one time. And it's the week of the first live show. Just because I'm like so nervous and anxious. I'm like, what if nobody shows up and you're finding out in real time? This thing that you do every week, pay money for, petrol for, nobody gives a fuck.
It's a shit feeling.
It's a shit feeling. So putting yourself in that position, I don't like it. But every time we do it, the two that we've done so far, even who's the main character? The 3 times we've been like, you know what, we're performing. People have came out.
People have showed up, man.
People have showed up and people have had a good time. So maybe that fear will start leaving now and just enjoy.
I cannot stress enough how much we fucking appreciate it. Like
Yeah,
now, like
man.
it actually means so much for people to show up to our event, and then even people come up like, yo, we actually had a great time, and stuff like that. Because that's all I care about. Like I just want people to have a good time.
No, for real. And Tommy, the Babes on Tapes, and Roz, especially Roz. Roz even bought the merch. She won the battle of the podcast. They've been supporting. So the minute they do any merch drop or live show or anything, call us up, man. How did you find it though?
I know. I thought it was great. Like I rocked up late because I wasn't in control of how I got there. But I got there, someone was performing, and someone else went up to perform. I was just like, this is vibes. Like it's not every day. Oh yeah, let's go and drink and dance to whatever. Like sometimes just party differently, and people are coming up and I brought my cousin with me. Yeah. Like he came on and did, what did he do? Black Eyed Peas, and then he did one other thing. And
He did the one that did Niggas in Paris?
Yeah, did Niggas in Paris.
He came to perform that day.
The thing is, he didn't know he was going to whatever. I was like, Damien, you have to do something.
Yeah.
It's fine, can I do this? And then when he came back, he was like, can I do another one? I was like, yeah, go and tell them that he was buzzing. But the whole energy that was there, I was just buzzing off that. Like some of the songs that people were choosing with like the classics. Yeah. And I was like, this nostalgia, and there were people doing other stuff. And I was like, rah, there's talent in the room. There's also people that have great bands, and it was just a lovely crowd, and the whole thing was like really fun. And you guys were giving out party bags as well.
Party bags,
the party bags was a vibe. Like
the crowd was like, everybody deserves a party bag. According to the crowd, everybody should just put on for everybody.
Party bags was like, it was the whole thing. The whole thought that went into it was pretty sick. I just want to find out, how does the host and the person that's doing the thing bottle like the competition? Like he like Deji is the person that's running it, and he bottles it. Like he lets another podcast come and take the crown. Like someone needs to explain to me, like, where's your shame?
Deji even had props, you know.
How do you lose shots? You had props and backing vocals. Okay, my backing vocals, and you held the L.
First of all, worst karaoke performance I've ever had, which is fine. I was tired, but also but this is the thing. I never planned to win.
You said you were going to outperform everybody.
Yes, so I can sell tickets.
You have to sell the show.
And also, there's a specific reason why I was handing out shots. I was trying to make the crowd very, very comfortable. Because even before, I was like, people in the crowd, I was like, oh, you want to show, you know? Because it makes everybody merry. And
money day.
Big
said
money day.
I'm like, this podcast paying like that?
Yeah, big money day.
Bro, I actually spent a bit because.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
And you went out
money long.
Look, man, what can we say? We got money on these sides.
Do we? Yeah.
No, but you got dunked on. Shout out Roz still.
No, shout out Roz.
Look, Ross can say, and she came to do this thing.
Yeah, no.
Great choice of song as well.
She wasn't even looking at her lyrics.
Nah, great choice of song.
Word for word, bar for bar, and then she just.
We've always said, you know, Ross is jukebox.
Yeah.
She
wore the crown. The thing is, she wore the crown for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
She kept it on. She was like, no,
look,
queen me.
Our next karaoke show, or maybe someone else will take the crown.
Yeah.
But we talked about merch.
No, not yet. Oh yeah, you can see.
Charger merch.
Yeah.
We got some new merch. Shout out to our boy Lenny.
Yes.
Nice.
What's
I like
called?
this.
Also rebranding. This is the new Charger logo.
I guess that's.
But yeah, what's called? We got merch. If you man want some merch, hit us up. You can just DM the page, DM Jordan, DM me. We'll sort
and then I
some
pulled
merch.
up to the Vision Lab today and shout out Lydia. Lydia was here immediately. Scrapped their hoodie.
Oh shit!
So
wait, hold on. We got tote bags too. Don't forget.
Oh, you do got tote bags. Yeah.
No, you know what, Jordan? Yeah. When do we add model to our series? No,
Saw the pictures. You guys look good.
Yeah, we do that, and that's another thing I was saying. Shout out, fair play to us. Actually, this is for both of us. We do always try to put our best foot forward. We don't look at the scale of like now we'll do this when we have this many followers. When we're releasing merch, we're like now we need to get proper merch, do the photo shoots. When we're doing anything, we always try to like even the editing and the clips and where we record. We're always saying like no, let's put money towards these things. We're not waiting until like okay, maybe when we get to that level. So I appreciate that about us that we always try to put our best foot forward. And okay, granted, sometimes we might get it wrong, but it's a learning curve. We're just finding out things as we go along as well.
Anyways, yes, €25, €40,
Bundle.
tote bags, €10. If you buy a hoodie, a t-shirt, and a tote bag, you get it for €70. So let us know what you want. Let us know if you're down for that. And yeah, once again, look, just appreciate everybody that comes out, man. Yeah. I can't stress enough how much it means to us for you guys coming out, having a good time, and actually we're being willing to participate because we had games as backup in case people weren't coming to sing. So we had to play games.
Just
grab the game.
Yeah, it just people just kept wanting to come back. It's like, look, it's a karaoke night. Let it be.
Let them karaoke.
Yeah, let them karaoke. So I appreciate it.
Well. What's called?
Someone even took us to church.
Bro, at the end.
Someone took us to church at the end. Fair enough.
Bro.
She said, I'm going to sing for God today.
You know what? There's a couple
that.
people that could sing.
Shad. I want it that way. Tommy said, scrap that song.
He's like, I'm not performing him.
I'm not performing that song
Shad,
again.
Rashida, Tommy, Nelly,
No, there was a couple.
There was singers there.
Yeah. Oh, what's called? Special shout out to Babes on Tapes. They gave a performance. They did.
They were giving energy.
Bro, one was Troy, one was Gabriella. I thought they were in love. It was a love story.
And Debbie pulled up doing Digga D. Trap Debbie.
Trap Debbie is a vibe. Hey, shout out Trap Debbie as well. She's a vibe.
Dude, Digga D.
Man. Look, all we're saying, like I said, when you see us having fun, don't now text me saying, oh, Deji, I didn't know, blah, blah. Hopefully, God willing, we can run a few
events, karaoke,
games night,
quiz night, table quiz night, even local bingo. People love that shit. Few drinks and their drink.
Oh, stop with you. Look,
who are those? Never mind.
Shout out to them.
Goddamn.
And okay, also one thing I'll say. The talent, oh my God.
What are you talking about, Deji?
I am talking about
the singing talent,
beautiful ladies that were out. Fam.
This is someone working on himself, you know.
Yeah, no.
This is someone.
Wait, so I can't appreciate beauty.
No, he can. He can.
Appreciate
exactly.
Beauty. Yeah,
and
don't let it distract you from your real job.
Especially people that came out to pay.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I hope it doesn't distract you from your journey of self growth.
No. Oh shit. Actually, funnily enough.
Here we go.
I've decided because I'm gonna put it on a podcast so we can do it. Week after week. I'm going to do 75 hard.
You're going to do what?
75 hard.
What's that?
It's a challenge. It's a 75-day challenge where you have rules that you have to follow for the full 75 days. And if you miss a day, you start again from day one. So
what kind of challenges though?
Rules. So the rules are I have to drink about 3.5 liters of water a day, work out 2 45-minute workouts a day, but one of them can be a walk. Okay. One has to be outside.
Yeah. Even in the winter. When winter's coming, you better start now.
See, the thing is, right, with that one, I'm not, like, I'll get my 2 workouts in, because we live in Ireland and it's raining and all that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think I'm gonna stick to the
outdoors.
Yeah,
I'm
outside can count as outside your house. So
yeah, I'm gonna try as much as possible to do one outside, even if it's just in my garden. Just do a home workout in my garden. But yeah, so there's that. You got to read 10 pages of a book a day. You got to follow no alcohol, no drugs, obviously. And
you're not drinking for 75 days as well?
Yeah.
You say you don't drink like that, to be fair.
See, the thing is, unless I'm out, I'm not really drinking anyways.
So you don't be sitting at home with a few gargles?
No.
All right.
That's why every time someone brings alcohol, there's no point in me taking it home. Because, like...
Shout out Deji.
What else is there? And you just gotta follow diet plan. So... yeah, like I said, working on myself.
If you get to day 50 and you don't do day 50, you're stuck.
If you get to day 50, if you get to day 74 and you miss day 75, you start again from day 1. That's why it's 75 hard. Okay. But yeah, so every week I'll come give you guys an
update. I'll be asking you every week what happened. And speaking of like live performances, it's like we're getting building our stage time and we're getting you comfortable being on stage, even in front of a small scale. But you know, when people like Ashake, for example, a lot of I find is like these artists, they blow quicker than they're ready for. Let's not say. I wouldn't turn down the tree. I wouldn't tell any man to turn down the O2. If you're ready for the O2, my friend, go to the O2.
Especially if you set it up.
Yeah, exactly. But at some stage, I felt like artists built themselves. We used to see like the J. Cole's at the Vicar Street, and they're building themselves up. So by the time they get to the big arenas, they know how to put on shows. Their team knows how to put on the shows. They know how to be professional. Whereas I'm watching Ashake blow. The 2 years during the pandemic, he couldn't perform, and obviously he did the Brixton. Tragedy happened at that show, and then obviously then he went to the DO2, and it didn't seem like it was the most coordinated or well planned. What do you guys think of like these artists? They're getting these venues. We can't fault them for turning it down. But I personally don't think at times they're ready for such big shows or events yet. They just needed to build them up there, get their stage time, and then before they get there. What do you guys think?
Sometimes you get ready on the spot.
I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't blame them for taking the O2, but from the other side, I'm like, like Central C now, he's had 2 probably the biggest songs in the, but he hasn't had an album yet. So his demand is already very high for him to perform at like big venues. But usually you would have had the gradual build up to get to that stage.
Like it's one of those situations where it's just like you just gotta live and learn. Do you get what I'm saying? Because like I said, you can't say, like, there's certain things you can't say no to. Because you get what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, if you want to go do Brixton, but you're selling out 5 days, it's like, fuck it. What's the point of doing that? Let me just go do. Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't fault him.
And also because it's like, why would I do something for 5? That's 5 days that I have to go out there.
Well, you can do
perform
one day,
when
save money.
Do one. And it's like, okay, I've got to pay the dancers, the backup, blah 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 blah. When I could just do one big show and just do it like that. Do you get what I'm saying? But it just is like at this point. But the thing is, I will say, Ashake is getting to that point where, like, remember we were talking about the tier list and like who's top tier. Yeah, Ashake is like he's
just the tier below now.
Just
like, the tier below.
Moyo was saying what's called this tier 1. He's probably 1.5.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, in basketball, they say 1A, 1B. When Kobe played with Shaq, they said 1 was 1A. Shaq was 1A, Kobe was 1B. Because you couldn't put Kobe as 2. You know, so I understand what you're saying. He's like 1B.
Because the thing is, like, from even just seeing clips and shit like that, like what people always complain, like Wizkid isn't the best performer. Yeah, Ashake looks like he's giving you a performance. Like he's nigga did this.
Came through.
You see the video when he jumps into the crowd. Yeah. But I think with things like those kind of shows, I think it comes down to the team that you have around you. Exactly. Because music is like for Ashake, that for me, I see that's his thing. Like he'll do the music aspect. I think the people around him need to be better at organizing. Like, okay, right, cool. This is the kind of show that we're gonna have because this is the arena. Obviously, you share ideas with the artists because they're the ones that might have the vision. But the team is who puts that together properly for you. And I don't think the people around him did what they should have done.
Not even to cut you off. Even for the team, they're also just learn. Like again, this blow up is so quick that they don't have the time to even learn how to put a show together.
If that's your role, like you're being paid to
I
do
get
that,
you. I get you.
Go and get the best in class at what they do. Go and, like if you guys wanted to record, you wouldn't go to some crappy rundown studio. You'd go somewhere that has the equipment and stuff that you need. If he's going to go and put on a show, go and find someone who's put on a show before. Like all these artists, they can relate. Go, okay, look, yes, boss man, yeah, what did you do there? Yeah, cool. How did you do that? Yeah, lovely. Okay, cool. And then you take some ideas from other people and do what you're supposed to do. I think it's lazy.
And that's what I always say, like, after I watch Succession, that's why I always say, I said nepotism breeds incompetence. Because people want to put people in their team, people that they know, people that they're friends with, people. Like, if we had a team, like, we ideally, like, oh, Moyo can be manager because we know Moyo. Like, exactly. Yeah. But in doing that, you're not selecting like you're saying,
Best
the
class.
best people. So you're running a team that needs to, you have a team that needs to put a show on in the O2, but you wanted your boys to come up with you and you give them different roles, but they're not well versed in that. And they're learning on the job. And again, they could have been well prepared. Maybe if you gradually came up, but if you're coming up too quick, pause, you could have, you could just hire the best people. Yeah. If you come up as like ready for the O2 to Moyo's point, you could just be like, all right, if I'm already at this level, let me get people also at this level.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes it's hard to like, let's say if I let Moyo manage me now, and we get to a certain point, it's hard to be like, Moyo, I don't think you can take me to the next level.
Exactly.
Just bringing someone to support them then.
Yeah, but still,
I guess what?
It's an ego thing that a lot of people have. That no, why are you coming to come and do my job? Nah, just understand that you're not at that level yet. You need a bit of help. You need a bit of support. Come in. Like it's not as if
because it has happened. There's people like against sports analogy. There's people like LeBron whose his boys are his team, and he's still been able to do $1 billion. He's $1 billion entity, so it can happen. And people look at that as a dream. I was like, oh, if I was a billionaire, I played in like at that level, I'd like my boys to be there with me. But to Moyo's point, or even to your point, they might not just be competent for it. And they might have to be like, yo, bro.
But the thing is,
go and upskill yourself, man.
It also depends on the boy you have. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because it's just like picking your best man. You could probably pick the person that's closest to you. Yeah. But who's the person that's good to do the job properly? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes like there's certain people like I know if for me if I had to build the team now, and I needed someone that's going to like their sole job is to sort out my calendar and do all that. That's Jordan's job. Because I know Jordan, it will give him anxiety if he doesn't do it.
If I don't know what Deji's doing on the Tuesday, someone's trying to book Deji the Tuesday. I'm like, brother, Tuesday next week, we're not coming here tomorrow.
But it's kind of like looking around you and use and like actually making people have their strengths. I hear that. I hear that. So it's like let's say with us and the events and shit like that, we could go do that ourselves.
But we know GB
he does
has connections and he does it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like even like we were saying before, move how you intend to move. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like once again, because granted, thanks for everyone that bought the last drop of our merch. The fact that this is our second drop of merch is crazy. Yeah. But it was basic. It was, do you get what I'm saying? It wasn't great. And then that's why I was like, all right, cool. Who can do it better than us? Yeah. Then Lenny hits us up and is like, yo, I want to do this.
Yeah. And we couldn't do clips well. We said get Harry. Do you get
what I'm saying? Clips, like it's like building the team and putting the right people in the right positions. Like not everybody can fill every position. And
I hear that's exactly. I hear that. But your point is not everybody. We don't mind outsourcing as long as it's the best people doing it. As long as it's like even it doesn't have to be our friends. We've tried to find people that maybe we know to do things for us. Like we don't. But to that point, like some people want it to be their boys. They want to grow up with like. Go up with their lads, and maybe they're not picking the right people to manage their calendar. They might pick like, Jordan might be good at doing it, but I'm not that close to Jordan. I want him to manage my calendar, so he's always with me. He knows where I am because I can have a good time with him. Yeah. But it's realizing you're not here for a good time anymore. Ashake, you're like in that tier of 1B. You're potentially a multi-million brand and entity.
It's not potentially, you are at this point. You are
exactly. So you don't want to put it in the hands of that's my boy. Like if this podcast was making proper money, it's not like we're not looking at it like that's my boy. Take it. We have to like know who can manage a brand, who can manage a business,
and it's just about having that hard conversation of like the road to the top. Sometimes is a lonely one because you have to leave people behind. Yeah, and it's like some people is just like, yo, bro, like you just hit your ceiling, or you know what, you're just not ready for this, or like you just don't understand the vision. You're just here for bitches. Yeah, and that's fine. And there's some people that are just here for the you're bitches. Not getting the bag. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you know, from yesterday, the boy, the one that went to go and knock.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I'm not putting him. If I'm going on tour, I'm not bringing him. Yeah, because he only cares about his bitches. Yeah, like if we're going on tour and your job is specifically to get bitches, I'm hiring him. But apart from that,
yeah, he's not getting any other role.
I think A$AP Rocky said, he used to have a guy that used to go to the crowd and find women, bring them back.
That's I have two boys that if I need it, that's who I'm sending. But apart from that,
you're not running this $1 billion. Did you go to the concert? You're in London. Do you know anybody that went?
Yes, I do.
Did they share the experience with you?
Couple girls, yeah, they enjoyed themselves because they said like live. Like it was a performance, like the energy, vibes, and everything that was there. But I think I watched it online with a lot of people from the comfort of my house, and
of course, like the rest of us.
Oh no! So I was saying I gave it like a 7 out of 10 because I was like, he put on a show, he has bangers. But if I had to deal with the fact that obviously it was a late start, all the things, all the difficulties that looked like they went on, and then have to go back home after that London traffic, trying to get on trains with people if you drove, and I looked at it and was like, yeah, I couldn't do all that. So,
Yeah.
so for that aspect, I was like, because I enjoyed it from the comfort of my home, a 7. But there's some people that even gave it like a 9 or 10 that were there live and direct. They said that he put on a show.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not surprised because you could see that energy-wise, performance-wise, and then his catalog is incredible. Like his catalog is so good that he missed out.
He missed like sometimes
like 230 was not there.
Yeah.
Zumba was not there. Yeah,
and I think Terminator was not there either.
But it's because I think obviously those are the ending songs.
Yeah.
And like I saw on Twitter, I think it was Fiona that might have tweeted on Twitter that like obviously after what happened, the tragedy that happened at his last show, and it's like people trying to rush to get in because he was on stage and shit like that. Maybe try and wait until everyone is in. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because like
makes sense.
Knowing now that we're kind of like starting to do events and shit, and it's like there's certain things in the back that that like
even yesterday we kept delaying the start time.
You know what I realized? We never actually addressed the fact that Newbury wasn't there.
Oh yes. I feel nobody even asked the question.
Look, what's called?
Apologies for that.
Yeah, apologies. Newbury, logistics just wasn't working out. So hopefully our next thing, Newbury, the boys will be there. Yeah, because like we said, we fuck with the boys heavy. Better
venue, their drum set needed. There's just logistics in the back that we couldn't fix on time. But by the time we saw the venue, it was too late. But we'll fix it.
But yeah, no, like, and also when there's a certain feeling when you get into a concert and like the bass is going through your system, and then there's 20,000 people there that is on the same vibe as you. It's unmatched. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
also the composers are fucking incredible.
It's just seeing their rise as well from like the last 10 years, just witnessing them just keep going. I
remember someone tweeted that they're like, oh, there was a stage where people was like saying, oh, all of Ashake's songs sound the same, but when composers actually played it live and whatever, they're like, no, you could tell the difference between every single song because they are musicians.
I said this when I went to the first Burnout in the Tree Arena. It was the first concert I went to with a live band. Probably the only one, except only his two. I've gone with a live band. It's different. Yeah. I'd say that's why I only put Jay-Z and Kanye ahead of him because of how much I rate them and how much I love them. But in terms of just like performance, I think Burnout is the best performer I've ever seen.
And what's called, and the thing is like, a live band changes things so much. It makes it just feels spiritual. It feels like it feels different. Like when we went to Wireless and Dave was there with the live band.
Dave, he put on a show.
That's another person that puts on a show.
His drummer and the guy on keys that day were doing things.
Nah, sorry, it does. The live band is flashbacks. Live band is different. But shout out Shaka though.
Ooh, Chris, your best friend, right?
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris Morris.
When you were back in the days when you were in the streets, and you needed to go on a 2-man mission. Who do you call?
Oh, Morris.
Morris
is more. Me and Morris were more on gal.
Wow.
Back in the days, it's funny because both of us are the married ones.
Yeah.
But back then,
you're married because you were
like back then, if it was about gal, I'll take Morris for 1,000% because that's what.
Because I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it the other day because Moyo is my because there's some people you go out and it's like,
so he's the one you call to go be your own girl. You call him.
Oh yeah. Except one time, I'm not gonna say where we were because of timelines and shit. But
I struggled that day. I remember that day.
I was on form and Moyo shut down.
Oh man,
absolutely.
It's not that I went and like fumbled or I just didn't do anything. Kind of thing. I was
he was on zero. But you know what? I will say though. For me, when I'm not in the mood, don't bother. Like, I'm useless. When I'm not in the mood, don't even call me.
But do you not know what you mean when you're going on the mission? Do you not know what the mission is?
No. Sometimes have you ever been out sometimes and it's just like I'm actually over it. I don't want to be here. Yeah. Once I get to that point, it doesn't matter if you're leng. If you're in front of me, I'm just like
I'm not here anymore, bro.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm not here, I'm not here.
Well, you guys did grow up together, innit?
Yeah. I've known him 20 odd years at this point.
Look, man,
it's about 20 odd years. Yeah, so it's one of those. So my question, so you chose Morris because you both had similar interests. So Chris didn't really have interest in that.
Like I've said this, if there's like a friend that was made for me to be my friend, it'll be Morris because Chris is also like by proximity. Our parents were friends, so we were friends by that. But like people I've met in my life, but through choice, it's him. He loves football. He loved gal. so that's who we were on all the time. Like
so, who was the Crouch and who was the Defoe? Like there was
Morris. Morris is more like Defoe's a better player, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, Morris is more. I would say Morris is Defoe. I was Crouch.
Fair.
Morris is he just had an aura where girls were drawn to, and sometimes you have that it thing that you can't do anything about.
Sometimes you need the guy that will reel in the girls, and then you need the guy that will help keep
secure.
them.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think I was better. Maybe I do a podcast, so maybe I was a better conversationalist because he's very chill, laid back. We get in trouble about it now. He's very chill and laid back kind of guy. Whereas I chat, so when the girls are there, I'm chatting, but he's the reason the girls came in the first place.
Okay, so you guys is playing styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cool, nonchalant, and I'm like, let's talk. What you do? Oh man, you do art. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Crackhead. That's it.
So you're the cool nonchalant.
I'm the cool nonchalant.
If Versus Babes listen to this was back in the days, yo.
Yeah. If your business.
Back in the day. No, definitely. I think between the two of us, I probably have more chat. Not that he can't do it, but I definitely have more chat.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying not that he can't do it.
Yeah.
He just his personality isn't like that.
I've always had to have more chat.
This guy will talk to a fucking brick wall, man. And like it's gotten us like Moyo's. I don't know how he hasn't been stabbed yet.
Wow. Hold on, wait a minute.
What you say for people?
Wait, what?
Stab this guy right now.
No, because the thing is, the thing about Moyo, Moyo's annoying.
Nah, I've learned.
Like he's actually annoying.
It's not deliberate. Like I'm not trying to annoy you.
He's annoying, yeah. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know how you haven't pissed on off the point. Like, one time we're out. Remember when that guy was like, I'm stabbing you in the temple?
Yeah, that was a manny.
How did we get here?
That was a man. And to be fair, that time I wasn't trying to be annoying. So a little bit of a backstory.
In the temple.
We went out. I saw a girl the girl giving us tickets, really cute. I saw her. Went, had a great night, and I was coming back up, and I saw a girl who I thought was her. And I was like, oh, not you, my bad. So I was talking to a different group of girls. A guy came up and did the exact same thing that I did. And I was like, oh, bro, that's not who you think it is. And he was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why is he, who does he know who I am? Why
Ego flared up. You thought you're cock blocking him.
And bro,
I was just like,
bro, you know those Somali man, they don't play.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, my fucking birthday. What's he grinning for? I was like, and then he's like, I'll stab him in the temple. Me and Moyo looked at each other. The girl was like, leave now.
She's like, I'll see you guys at McDonald's. Like, cool.
Nah, in the temple, you know.
No, it was very dramatic.
It was him, yeah. And then next minute, I'm looking and it's like, he's with like 7 men right now. Because if it was just him, we could take him.
Yeah.
2v2, we take him.
3v2, I still fancy our chances.
It's actually funny when you see man's ego just
bro.
Kick comes into the fight. You're like, bro,
it's your birthday and you want to stab someone in the temple.
That's not high on my list on birthday wishes, to be fair.
You get what I'm saying? Like enjoy your night, this girl.
After that, you just dip. You say, I'm out of
Yeah,
here.
we had to.
Because fam, I'm not.
That was the night of TT.
Oh shit, it was yeah.
That was TT's night.
What's
There's a girl we nicknamed Tiana Taylor because
yeah. Okay. She looked mad like Tiana Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Absolutely, she's not photogenic
of
in the slightest, but she's laying in real life.
Yeah, have you ever seen them ones that you just turn you have to convince people they're lying? You're just trying
No,
believe it. Honestly, it's just the angles.
They ask, oh, let me see your Instagram. Are you doing this?
Yeah, because you've already talked them up. So now you're gonna be, this girl was lying. Okay, let me see the trick. You're like, fuck, what picture am I gonna pick? Because I talked them up so much.
Are you a bad friend?
I'm a great friend.
Yeah. So am I, but you keep saying I'm a bad friend.
What is Deji a bad friend?
He's a great friend usually, but he just has moments where he just doesn't.
To be fair, he said this though. He's alluded to this himself.
Doesn't support me where I need to be supported.
What do you mean support you when you needed to be supported?
It's okay.
We almost got stabbed together. Is that not enough support?
I thought this was a safe space. Never mind.
This is a safe space.
Well, he said he's not the best friend in terms of like keeping up with people.
He said that. I think I couldn't give a shit about that. Like,
fair enough.
I don't need him to do that for me.
Okay.
I don't do that with anybody. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why our dynamic works. Because if we need to message each other,
you will.
We both know that. Yeah. He's a phone call away, he's a message away.
Maybe like once a month I'll call you and talk for like an hour and then.
Yeah. Or if I know that he's doing something, I'll pull up. Or if there's
fair, your relationship isn't based on that dynamic. Because he said it before. It's like I think you said it on the pod as well. You're like, he's not really the best at keeping up with people, and that's gotten him in trouble in the past.
You've lost friendships because of this. Yeah. What was your motto for life? It's not that deep.
Oh yeah. And the one you're talking about, that wasn't my fault.
Whatever it was.
That one wasn't my fault.
Is it a mutual friend?
Yeah.
Jordan,
I know. Look at me.
I know. I don't need to look. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not that deep.
That one purely wasn't my fault. But You know what
Do you
it
think
is,
you're getting better at it, or do you think like your friend group gets smaller, so you don't not many people to keep up with? Like I'm in a group chat with most of my friends, so it's
yeah.
It's the only one I text outside is Deji for the pod and maybe Joe.
My problem is that I don't have a group of friends. All my
Yeah.
friends are cool with each other, but they're not friends.
They're not friends.
You get what I'm saying?
Collectively, yeah.
Which was funny. It was funny because it was weird yesterday because like all my boys were out.
Yeah,
Eh,
actually.
all my niggas were out. Like
Yeah.
which is fucking weird because it's usually they're never in the same place.
So, yeah,
But so like I can't have them in a group chat because
they're not really
we're
they
not
don't, yeah,
friends like that.
Yeah.
Like I've got individual friendships with everybody, so I can't do that. And then it's like the problem is never the guys. Like because what's called one of my boys, Toby, right? When we went to different colleges and the whole college year we wouldn't speak.
Okay.
Summer will come around, he'll pop up in my house, I'll go to his house, we'll chill.
Understanding,
and then
yeah.
we won't speak again for like 9 months.
9 months until next time. Because I've said it to you. I think it was over the last 2 weeks. I was like, "How do you do female friends, man?"
But the thing is,
how do you do this
but you know what?
consistently?
I treat my female friends different. Like I actually,
Okay.
I give them more attention and care.
Oh,
they
because
need
you
it.
know what that relationship, like friendship, requires.
Yeah.
So you're gonna obviously be according to that.
you
You
know
know
what I'm
what you and Moyo require, so you play according
Yeah,
to
like,
what that
and
is. Yeah, I hear
Like I can talk to my female friends damn near every day.
that.
I don't really have things to talk to my guys like every day.
It's true.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No,
Like
that's true.
we're gonna talk about football,
Football.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas female friends on the other side, they'll talk about the same problem 5 times.
It's like, tell me more. Not like you haven't just told me that, but
Even
tell
though
me
you've
more.
given them the same advice, and then 6 months later they're telling you were right. You know why you tell me I was right? I
But
said this
you know
6
what?
months
Yeah,
ago.
sometimes you gotta let people chop breakfast because until they come to the conclusion.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm the same. Like you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but deep down I know I'm doing what I'm doing.
So why do we do that as people?
I've accepted that about people. You
No,
like,
but why do we? Why is it that we go look for advice, get given advice, and then say, I'm doing what I want?
because the thing is, a lot of the time I feel like you know what is right to do,
Yeah.
but fuck it, I want to do fuckery, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with
And
that.
how's Moyo as a friend then?
He's left me to die once.
What's going on? These guys will say they're best friends. They got stabbed in the temple.
Yeah, but
and
you know
leaving
what?
each other to die.
That's the thing that okay, you know what? Because I don't think I've ever actually explained the story on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So there's 2 stories. One where I've left him, and one where
die
he's
as
left me.
well.
No, it wasn't to die. It was
Like we
he
just
was-
keep leaving
He
each
was
other.
chopping beaten. That was it.
Oh, my.
And you weren't gonna die.
Okay, let me explain. Okay,
So,
so
Here we
let's
are.
go.
Look
For
at
the
us.
people that don't know this story, right? So me and Moyo have known each other for years. This is probably like 2004-ish. PlayStation 2 just dropped. Moyo just got the PlayStation 2. It was Christmas Day, and like he used to live right around the corner from me, and I would be in his house all like my mom would have to call their house to tell them to send Deji home. Like that was
times,
every
good
single day.
times.
So, anyways, Christmas Day, after I spent the money with my family, 12:30, I'm in Moyo's house.
How is that right? That just you said something that hit me. You will actually need the phone numbers of other parents where your kids go play all the time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And this was this was house phone days as well.
Yeah,
like before it was
yeah.
house phone
Makes
days.
sense
Yeah.
though, doesn't it?
Yeah. So,
Community that we're talking
anyways,
about.
go to Moyo's house. Go to Moyo's house now. Yeah. And this was the in the days before you have
Multi-room.
So if you're watching Sky is in the sitting room, it's just in the sitting room.
Yeah.
So his parents were like, obviously they want to. They're at home.
You have guests over, like you want to watch stuff.
Well, if you want to watch stuff, you know, they want to watch Happy as Larry or whatever they're watching on TV. Do you remember Happy as Larry?
I don't know. I don't remember how this story.
Bro, it was.
Was it Ben or AIT? One of
It was
them
Ben. What's called?
Yeah,
It was.
I think I do.
If you
actually.
people remember Happy as Larry, what's it called? They used to go to different African parties and put it on the show.
Yeah.
So like people do have a party, you call Happy as Larry, they shoot and then you be on TV. But anyways, yeah. So his parents were like, go play PlayStation in our room, innit? So it was me, him, and his little brother were playing PlayStation, banging game, Gran Turismo 3 maybe or 4 or whatever, banging game, innit?
Spec, Gran Turismo 3.
What's it called? Where me and Moyo are so focused in the game that we're not paying attention. So his brother goes downstairs and brings a drink upstairs, right, into his parents' room. Then next minute his dad comes up and he's like, who spilled this drink in the room? Me and Moyo have just been focused on game. We don't care about anything else. I look at him, he looks at me, it's not either of us.
Confused.
And his dad's starting to get angry now. And then, because nobody's speaking up. So his dad starts giving his little brother licks. But I look at it, it's like, oh, he got the right person.
Congrats.
So,
Figured it out.
yeah, like, bro, you really know how to do this. This parenting thing, you're doing it right. Anyway, so I retired to the stairs because obviously his mom hears the commotion. She comes to the stairs. So I retired to the stairs with his mom.
Yeah.
So anyways, his brother's getting licks now. And then he turns to Moyo. And Moyo runs to his room, tries to run, and start because he's going to start giving Moyo licks. And in my brain, the math is mathing. You got one. You got one down. You're getting the next one down. Who's after Moyo? It's obviously me.
He wasn't gonna beat your ass. Goddamn.
So it's obviously me. So I walk down the stairs.
Fight or flight kicked in, Moyo.
Yeah.
Fight or
No,
flight kicked
I
in.
understand it now, but I'm like,
this is the first time that I've left the house without my mom calling. I walked down the stairs so calmly, so slowly, so composed. As soon as I closed that door, bruv, I have never run as fast in my life. You know when Fred on Nice Baby said, palm to ear.
I said you run faster than the cars, yeah.
Fam, that was me that day. And then I just go home. I locked my door. I went to my room. I fell asleep. And then that's when this guy tells me later on. Tell you one part of the story, man.
I saw him running past my window because my window is one that leads. I saw him running past because I obviously realized I can't hold the door against my dad. I try and run to. I'm like, where am I running to? I'm trapped in the room. I see Deji run past the window. I'm like,
Also,
fucking
look,
hell.
give me a pass. I'm like, maybe like 9.
Yeah.
Not even no.
Not even that.
Not even that.
Like do the maths when you were born, kind of thing.
Oh wait, yeah.
7, about 7, 8.
I'm like 7, 8. His dad is 6'2", built guy, grown ass man.
Yeah, nah, he's a big.
What
big
am I
guy.
supposed to do? Like, obviously now as I'm older, I know he's not gonna
Yeah,
he's not gonna beat me or whatever.
Yeah.
But back then I'm 7.
Yeah,
and
your fight or flight kicked in. So
Yeah, exactly.
you have to.
So-
you flew.
I flew.
So I got my revenge because he left me. So I left you the day that he come to Manchester and he's like, well, that was the day United played Everton. We went to go watch United Everton.
Yeah,
and later on that day, he was like, bro, I need to drink.
Yeah, the football memory kicks in.
Yeah.
What's called? We 1-4-0. Valencia scored a banger.
Oh, I remember the game actually.
Martial penalty late on.
Yeah.
I had left at that point. But anyways, later on that night, we decided we're playing FIFA. But Deji's intention was to drink. So we're like, oh, yeah, every time we concede a goal, we'll do a shot. Or every time we lose a game, whatever margin we lose by, we'll do a shot. Based on that margin.
If he scores 2 goals, I take a shot. If I score 2 goals, he takes a shot.
So it was just an excuse for both of us to drink a shit ton of alcohol. Yeah. So anyways, 15, 16 shots in, maybe more. Because what we didn't realize is the more we drink, the worse we play. So the more we drink.
I think we lost the game first game 4-0.
We're like, yeah, long day. And then at that point, the flat was starting to feel a bit woozy. So I thought, let's go for a walk. At this time, I didn't realize that going for the fresh air was going to slap you differently. So head down out of the flat, go for a walk. We don't make it round the corner. There's a petrol station where I live. We don't make it past there.
No, don't say he. Don't say he. Don't say
He is on the phone.
No, that's not what happened.
You were on the phone.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
You can adjust it in a second.
Moyo called somebody, and I said, "Oh, we're making phone calls," and then I made a drunk call.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Is that the drunk call? That
Yeah.
Yeah.
You run it back.
Run it back, Turbo.
Yeah. All right,
See how the timelines are all linked?
Yeah,
back in?
yeah. I'm listening.
So I'm on the phone to someone. He's on the phone to someone. And then I'm lying down on the pavement outside this petrol station. And I'm thinking, like, something in my brain just kicks in. Like, what are you doing? You literally live just there. So I was like, okay, got off the phone, got up. I was like, Dej, I'm going, man. I'm going, like, whatever. He goes, fuck off. He goes,
So you know what he decided to do?
He goes, so I was like, fair enough. I'm going to fuck off. So I go, walk back in, those like block of flats. So you have like the gate thing. So I kind of left that on the latch for him to come in. I couldn't do much about the downstairs door, but then I got upstairs to my flat and I left that door open so that when he's ready to come in, he'll find his way in, kind of thing.
Yeah, but
And then I went to bed. So I got my revenge. I left him. The way he left me, I left him.
okay, let me tell you what
Where
happened.
did you
Right?
sleep?
So
I didn't give a shit when he slept.
out of this drunk call,
Yeah.
I probably remember 10 minutes of like a maybe 2-hour conversation.
Okay.
To this day, I was asleep. I was asleep on the grass outside the petrol station. Somebody, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, bought me a Lucozade, and they left it there. Anyways, I come through, and I'm like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then I walked to the apartment block. He had just moved to this apartment block, and it was one of those places that all of the doors look the exact same. I don't know which door he was in. Do you get what I'm saying? So, anyways, I'm in the car park now. I think I end up throwing up and passing out in the car park. So I pass out for God knows how long in the car park. I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm freezing. I'm like, I might actually die today. And then I was like, oh shit, someone bought me a Lucozade. So I went back to the petrol station, got the Lucozade, and then I was like, okay, let me try and find my way in. And then I realized that I lost my phone. I lost my phone.
Oh God.
So then I had, this is like 5 a.m, but I had an alarm because I was waking up early them times. So I had an alarm that popped off at that time, so I could hear my phone. So I just followed the sound, found my phone, and then eventually I was like, I remember he sent me the code to the pin, so I just went to every single door, just present pin.
How many doors did you go through?
Like 3 or 4.
Struggles.
And then I finally got in, and because his housemate at the time, left us before the carnage happened. Yeah. And then when he came back, I'm just
smart
there like
man,
this.
Smart man.
And he just looks at me like, what the fuck? But yeah, like, just because I said fuck off, does that mean you should leave me?
He took a literal. Like, all right, this guy
like,
he's obviously.
What am I supposed to do?
You know,
Drag him? Look at the size of it. I was like,
no. See, the thing is, he didn't try. You know, he's like, oh, come on. He didn't even do, oh, come on.
Come on, bro.
But
Let's get back.
I was drunk as well. That's like, in my defense, I was drunk as well. Something just was like, you should go home. I was like,
that's how the best friendships are built. Are built on memories, isn't it?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
We've shared quite a lot of those.
Moyo, I actually wanted to ask you something because the other day, I shout out to you, listened to the podcast, and you had feedback on one episode where you schooled us about the Mason Greenwood and Mendy thing. So again, finally the decision has been made by United.
Finally, and the right decision.
And it kind of went back on it. They kind of were trying to soft launch him coming back. Initially, they said, "Oh, you know, yeah."
It was apparently it was in the plans for like months at this stage.
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah. Because if they didn't want him, they would have cut him ages ago.
Yeah,
like, they would have made the decisions to cut him ages.
If he was a shit academy player,
yeah,
they would have let.
What do you ultimately make of the decisions? Because I was very skeptical. We've watched football all our lives. We always see people racism. People can buy people. Like people have. The moral line. We don't know where it has been.
It gets blurred,
so
moved,
much.
shifted.
Yeah.
Temporarily disabled, depending on who you are. Like you've got the Spanish FA president and the Spanish manager at the moment that they have like their own little controversy.
We'll get out to that as well. When did they kiss the player? When
so quickly go through like the Greenwood one.
What you ultimately make a decision that was made?
It's the right decision.
It's the only decision that should have been made.
It's the only decision that should have been made. So with Greenwood, I was kind of like, look, and if you want to cancel me. I might say some whatever. But if it was a once-off incident, I know
just remember, we don't cut anything else.
No, that's fine. If it was a once-off incident where they argued and they got in a fight and he just threw like a punch, still leave my club. But fine, you're not a complete total wrong'un. Like we fuck up, we're humans. But what made me categorically confirm that he's an absolute wrong'un was the voice notes. The pictures. Like, how are you coercing and forcing someone? Like, she's basically like, I don't have sex with you. He goes, well, I want to have sex, so open up.
Yeah, do it now.
It
was crazy.
My skin still crawls because I'm just like, in what world should that not even to come out, even be a thought? Like, how? So for me, from that day, I was like,
entitlement, man.
I was like, there's no justification for that. And Nigerian football Twitter,
that's my favorite place on earth.
They're a fucked up group of people.
We need him right now.
We need him. Forgive him. He's a wrong'un. Yeah. Like take him as far away from my club as possible.
And also, it's just because, like, bro, for someone to, like, you don't just randomly record shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Especially voice notes.
That's another thing. How many times has it had to happen for her to be, you know what, I've had enough. People, I'm gonna record. Let me get evidence this time.
And all those things were adding up in my head. Like he should never play again. Like he should whatever. Then when I heard United were trying to bring him back, I started feeling like hella awkward because I was just like, let's say like he goes and scores the winning goal in a game against Liverpool. We win 2-1. He scores a late minute winner. I'm just like, I'd be conflicted in terms of celebrating that because he shouldn't wear that jersey ever again. And so there's a guy I was listening to basically mentioning that, he mentioned a similar thing where if he has a daughter that loves Man United, what happens if she goes and watches a game and he plays well and she says, I want his number on the back of my jersey? How is he supposed to bridge that conversation and be like, that man's a piece of shit kind of thing? So when Man United was talking about bringing him back, I was like, I was still going to support Man United because I'm like, that's my team, but I was feeling so weird about it. I was like, I can't support this guy. I want to support my club. I can't support this guy. And I was just like, how is money such a determining factor that all morality goes out the window? Because if he was literally a nobody player, he would have been caught ages ago. It would have been no consideration. But because he's an asset, and the people that run Man United as a football club, are businessmen. I was going to say something that I realized I probably shouldn't say but they're businessmen. They looked at it from that side of things. And I was like, that's not how you make this decision.
To be honest, I think, like I said this on the last episode as well, I don't think it's a good business. I don't think it was ever a good business decision to keep him because you lose so much revenue off like we always say, women are really the backbone of society.
But do you
like,
think they actually thought that they would do? Because they would have gone, they would have looked through the things and been like,
1000%.
we'll lose this, but we're gaining here.
No, because okay, this is the thing, right? How many, like, realistically, fathers are kind of not there, right? So how many? It's not the fathers are going into the shops to go buy these jerseys, and it's like, I don't support what this club is doing.
In football culture, it really is the fathers. Like in terms of like buying merchandise and jerseys and the thing, it really is it's the men that would drive that revenue in that sport.
Remember, you know the way that you always say you want peace in your house.
Yeah.
You bring home a United jersey and your wife is giving you stress.
Yeah, I hear it.
In that house. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like there's like you're going to lose too much money off keeping him anyways. Do you get what I'm saying? Because like the thing is like, yeah, cool. Football is a big sport, massive sport anyways, you get what I'm saying? But the reason why a club like United can be as gargantuan as it is because we have so many casuals. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of the casuals are women and stuff like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you're going to cut out all of that. It doesn't make sense. For like, you lose more than, let's even say he's worth 200 million. You lose more than 200 million off of bad publicity regardless. And that's what I mean.
But they're probably hoping that
decision.
by the time he plays and does well, if United are winning again and he's part of that, they're like, we'll get that money back kind of thing. That's I struggle to believe that there's no way they didn't look at it and think, look at the money that they would lose and be like, nah, we'll mitigate this.
And that's the thing about sports. It's so nasty like that. To Moyo's point, it's like the minute, again, scores last minute winner against Liverpool. Screamer. Throws the Champions League semi-final. Before you know it, it shouldn't be a non-story, but the way sports work is you can build your resume as you go. Mm-hmm. And the more you're building your resume, okay, you lose 200 million, but he's put you winner against Liverpool, your Champions League, you're getting that revenue back. Blah, blah. I hear you to the point that like, yeah, it was they were definitely going to take a hit. They were definitely. But they probably do the maths of like, we can take that hit, but if we get him back and he gets us back to that level of playing Champions League, playing high-level balls,
comes
winners, it can balance it out.
But the thing is, maybe in the 90s, but now that the what's called women's football is also becoming very prominent as well, and it's like the Manchester United women as well. It's like, do we really want? Do you get what I'm saying? It's
I get it.
Do I want to play for a club that represents that?
And at that point, a lot of like obviously I'm in the group chat. People were making that similar point. It was like, oh, the players like Rashford and Bruno and all them should protest, and like the women should protest. I'm like, it even puts them in such a shitty situation because these men at the end of the day they're employees and they have jobs, and people are like, oh, but they earn so much millions. To Deji's point, people live by their means. Yeah. Their mortgage isn't what you think it is, that they can just not go to work for a month. I know you think it's like, oh, people will think they earn so much money they can afford paying a few months off their mortgage, but like, you don't know that the money they earn, the mortgage they're paying is at very similar levels.
More money, more problems.
Yeah, you're putting these people at a very awkward situation where, to Moyo's point, Rashford and Bruno should retire. Greenwood scores his late minute now. Emotions take over and they go celebrate with him. Now you've affiliated them with Greenwood, even though it shouldn't be their decisions to make. Yeah. If our employees decide to whatever do, I have a mortgage to pay. I still would have to be like, I'm still going to work based whatever decisions they're making for this company. It shouldn't be, the owner shouldn't be on me to be like, you protest your employers. Like that. I thought that was fucked up. Tough. Shouldn't be on the women either. Especially shouldn't be on the women. You go protest your employees. Come on, man.
They received received abuse when, so somehow it was leaked that United were going to consult the women team on their opinion, and then the women's like Twitter page are again like abuse because there's some fucked up people in this world. Yeah, they start getting abused. But good thing United finally came to the right decision. But the statement that was released
initially or after?
No, so the statement that was initially released talking about bringing them back, and then they got the backlash for it.
Yeah,
like that should have never been a thing. But then even the one that the statement they released to say that he's going kind of thing, that was still a cop out because the way that was worded, so well worded that there's still the door slightly ajar that if for him to come back in, they're like, oh, we're looking at means for him to go maybe temporarily or permanently. There's one of those ones where they might send him on loan if he does whatever, bring him back in. Like,
yeah, but also, you know what as well? I feel like they probably scrubbed all of the evidence from the internet, and then it's like people's memories aren't going to remember.
Yeah, they're trying to play the long game with it. Like, it's an absolute shit show from the club that I support, and it absolutely disgusts me. And that brings us on to what's happening with the Spanish women's team.
Segway King.
So the Spanish national team, the women were like, this conditions that you're asking us to play and train in, it's a shit show. Like, we need certain support, and you're not providing it. So quite a few of them went on strike. I'm not playing for the national team anymore. So whatever the Spanish FA did, brought a few of them back in, like, look, we'll fix this. I don't know what promises they made them, but a few of the women who had gone on strike decided to come back. it's a World Cup year. So some of the ones that were still on strike said, no, I don't care. It's a World Cup year. I'm staying on strike. What you guys are doing is wrong. So then the ones that did kind of say, okay, we're not boycotting anymore. We'll go to the World Cup. Anyway, long story short, Spain win the World Cup. One of the first ones in their country's history. Yeah. Massive moment. Their president goes and the Spanish FA president goes and gobsmacks one of the players, like grabs her face and kisses her. Like, how,
she
why?
She's uncomfortable, and then they said, we did research. It was
what are you talking about? Where's your entitlement? You already know that the relationship between you man and shit. Like when they've won, the staff are celebrating on one side, the players are celebrating on the other side because there was discord in that camp. And then the Spanish FA president decides to do it. There's another picture of where they have one of them over the shoulder, like the guy's carrying the woman player over his shoulder. And I'm just like, this kind of thing, all the isms, the sexisms, the racism, like at this day and age, how is it not being condemned to the level that it's supposed to be? Because the Spanish FA didn't want to suspend the president. The coach that the women are still fighting, like so many of them have said that we're not playing again because the coach that's still there is a piece of shit. But the Spanish FA are backing the coach and obviously the president runs it, they're backing him. And I'm just like, it needs to be condemned, and we let too much, I say we, not us generally, but football has allowed, and because we say we keep shifting the goalposts, they've allowed for too much fuckery to happen where it's and because it's not being condemned the way it should be, it continues and happens and happens. I'm just like, where's the line? Like how does the sport as itself clean itself up? Whereas like you get rid of the wrong-uns, but like the people who are in charge have been there so long, like they make the rules, they make the laws. Like for you to try and get someone out, it's like, and then it leaves
they're all
us.
mates, they're all boys. Nepotism is playing a part.
It's an old boys club. It's
even
like,
if you saw Mike Dean's comment about not making the decision because he said I didn't send my friend to do VAR because he's my mate, so I didn't want him to get a penalty. He'll give a penalty to Chelsea because he'll get backlash. So they're all looking out for each other on some level, at every level.
It's a mess.
On a human being, I get it. Like I would look out for Deji to a certain level, and like Deji look out for me for a certain level. So I do understand you're still dealing with people. They're seeing their friends do the wrong end, and we've seen lists comes out in the past, and people be like, "Oh, but that's my boy. My boy wouldn't do that."
If you're wrong, if they're doing something wrong, they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And if you really say they're your boy like that, then you should be able to correct them. And be like,
that ain't it.
That ain't it. Literally, that ain't it.
But I saw something today about apparently they're trying to sue her because it was a consensual kiss.
Yeah. That was another thing. She's like, I felt uncomfortable, and they're saying like, yeah, we investigated. It was consensual. It's like, how you guys? How you gonna tell her?
How you gonna tell her how she felt?
Sometimes I like to see the investigation. Like, all right, talk me through the investigation. Like how we came to this conclusion.
You know what it was? Show your workings.
Yeah.
They say based on the way that this and this.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Nah,
like,
but you know what?
It's a
Like,
mess.
it's just once again, it's just all of this shit is heartbreaking, man. Like, it's just like for me, it just feels like
Self-serving.
Every month, it feels like I'm hearing a new story about this person moving mad or this happening, and it's just like it just gets to a point where it's like I don't know if it changes or how to change it or you get what I'm saying? Because something as black as white that we have camera angles for, different camera angles for, and the person that's happened to says yes, I was uncomfortable. How is there any gray area in this? Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's just kind of like something that has been televised, she can't even get a clear decision. Let alone something that's investigated. Let alone
there should be no
he said versus she said.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's just
It's a mess.
Well, it's the best.
And as fans and us watching it, it's like it just leaves us in a shitty place where I can
you love the sport.
I love the sport,
but you don't stand for what's in the sport. But now because you love this, you love United. I don't stand for Greenwood. I want to celebrate a late minute winner, but then they'll think I'm associated with Greenwood. Imagine, you know when someone scores and they tweet like Rashford on the timeline. Now you see if he scores that winner,
Godman, Greenwood.
You just gotta just be like, I can't even.
And obviously, what I do for work, I can't like on a much lower scale. I'm kind of like I can't really say too much or about because I'm just like. I'm still growing in the game. Like like I could so easily be blacklisted where they're like, you're never going to get a good coaching role ever again.
There's a point where they start doing background checks and like social checks and all that kind of shit.
And like that puts me at a disadvantage. I'm not going to find a job. But I'm like, it's just it's a shit way of things being done, a shit way of being.
Question, if they did keep him on, would you work for United?
Be honest.
Tough. That's the club that I've supported my whole life.
Not even support them for the whole life. Like a human being give you $200K per year. a lot of us would be like, you know what? I have family to feed. I have mouths to feed.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Honestly, if the bag was big enough, I would.
Let's be real.
You can't fault
If the bag was big enough, I would.
Like, I can't fault someone for saying like being offered a job at Manchester United. Again, I don't want to put the onus on people and employees. This should be on the board and on Greenwood. I can't look at Moyo now taking a United job and saying, oh, he stands for that. No, Moyo has a life to live. He has maybe potentially, if he ever leaves the streets, family.
Wow. What did he say? Fuck me for?
Family to feed. So I can't look at Greenwood's decision and then put the onus on people looking for an opportunity in the job. You know. But Moyo, you obviously grew up in Avon, lived in Avon.
Up Navan.
People don't know this. Your first ever podcast was actually with Deji. That's how
man.
it started.
Hashtag TSC.
TSC,
The social construct.
Also, something that people don't know. DM podcast was supposed to be Deji Moyo podcast.
Oh, okay. That's what the DM stands for.
Yeah,
That's
but then
for
he
direct
was.
message.
It was like both.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like it was supposed to be both of us, but then he
moved.
I moved.
That's
Whose
what I was
country?
actually going to get to. Like, why did you make that decision to be like, you know what, let me go over it? Is it just career based or?
So initially it was it was my dad. I'd finished like what I wanted to do in uni, like the first initial bit. I was meant to go on and do like an honors degree, but I'd done like it was meant to be an LLB honors, but I did like a BA, and it was meant to be a 4-year course. I did the 3-year bit where I got my BA and dipped out. But I was meant to.
You actually have the law degree.
Yeah, well, legal studies, BA in legal studies. I had to go and finish that off somewhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll move to England and go and do it over there. Because I was kind of like, I felt like a bit of a waste man because I'd dropped out kind of thing. But I hadn't. I just didn't go and do the final year kind of thing. So I was like, okay, look, let me go and start again where people don't know me, yada, yada, yada. That was literally the thing in my hand. It's like, let me just get fresh start.
Remember that era? Everybody was going over to the UK or London for their fresh start. Literally around the same time.
Yeah,
so many people just moved over.
I was people went to go rebrand.
Some actually did successfully.
Oh,
Hornets got the lead.
bro,
Completely.
married with kids.
Bro.
Goddamn.
We're talking about the same people. I know we are.
No, we definitely are.
Anyways.
I can't subscribe to this. I have no idea who you're on about.
Look, man,
Well,
I
yeah.
respect it, man.
I
respect it heavy.
Back to you. So you went over to
It's
the
not-
brand, fresh start.
I was considering it, but my dad was also like, go and help your mom in London. Because at that point, my mom had moved over with my 2 younger siblings because she went back to uni. So she said, go and help your mom. So I was in London for like 9 months before I actually decided what I wanted to study. And I realized I'm tired of living at home. Because even when I was living at home, I was like, now I want to do a proper fresh start. So I moved to Manchester. That was when I actually then tried to go back to uni, yada, yada, yada. That didn't work out. And then I kind of fell into football. But yeah, so my rebrand got rebranded for another
You have to
rebrand.
do how many podcasts have we had? Keep rebranding until you fall into what works. Yeah.
So I ended up moving out there, living in London now. But career-wise, it's probably the best move for me because everything just, in that country, especially working in football, it just makes more sense. So being in Ireland, I always say the only reason I would ever come back and live in Ireland is if I got a national team job over here.
Okay.
If the FAI said, Moyo, we want to hire you, then I'd probably consider moving back to Ireland. I'd definitely think about it.
Come on, Mike will do it. He'll definitely do it.
Do you know
Have Ferguson up front.
the amount of black Irish footballers as well that are coming through? It's incredible. I want to work with all them. We can share our experiences. But yeah, apart from that,
How does it feel to be living your dream to a certain degree, like early stages of your dream? Because it's one of those situations where before it was a dream to go just even watch a football match.
Yeah.
To now having season tickets.
Season tickets are full of. I remember when you're in the championship, you're already going to
Yeah.
all their games, and then you got promoted, and
To
I
the
was
Prem,
seeing
and
your
that was
pictures
like-
there as
I
well.
watched
yeah.
us beat Chelsea live.
But yeah, but how does that feel? And even like obviously people don't know, but like you got to be in Old Trafford on the pitch, like pop shots with West Brown and that. Like how does that feel? Of like actually forgetting about law and then pivoting and then dropping out again and then actually doing what you want to
Falling
do.
into this, yeah.
It was a weird one because you know how African parents can be sometimes. My dad and I, for a solid 2 years, our relationship was just a weird one where if I wanted to talk, I'd talk to my mum, and if my dad wanted to talk to me, he'd talk through my mum.
Mine was like that as well growing up. It's only recent, not even recent, over maybe the last 3 years you can talk to me, I can talk to him. For a long time, you'll talk to me through my mum. I was like, nigga, talk to me.
Like
No,
we're
no,
in the same house.
no, literally. Literally, so your dad wants to tell you this, like, call me downstairs then.
No. To be fair, my mom does it with my sister. If my mom wants to talk to me about something that is a bit, she'll tell my sister to talk to me.
I think my dad probably understands that his delivery is. My mom was like soft spoken
Fair.
My dad's deliveries can be off, so maybe he's sending the
Yeah,
best
because it
messenger.
just comes like, yo, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally, you're a bum.
Do you think I worked this hard for you to be a bum?
At your age, I was in this bums living in my parents' house. If I say like that, but then you're like, yo, bro, what are you saying?
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
But I love you though.
But yeah, 2 years rocky relationship.
Yeah, so it's literally rocky relationship, and then to be able to then come full circle, be like, this is what I'm doing. FaceTiming him on the pitch at Old Trafford, like this is the team we've both supported. Like,
Was that a cool moment, yeah?
was-
Bro.
very few moments in my life top that.
Yeah.
Just FaceTiming my parents, be like, look where I am, look at the pitch, look who I'm with.
Yeah.
Like my United legends, like.
It's one of those moments, like, people say you have these moments in life, you're like, people say when their parents have passed, they still have moments where, like, I want to call my mom, or I want to call my dad. And it's to have those moments where you still can call your dad and your mom, when you're living a dream, it must be a fantastic feeling. Because some people
Absolutely
get there and their parents aren't there to see them live that dream, so that's cool.
You know what's crazy, and I don't think I've said it to you. Your family's the reason I support United.
Good. It made you make the right decision.
Like-
You grew up as the cool kid in school because your team was winning. You're welcome.
It was a good decision back then. Right now,
Yeah, but you're an adult now. You carry
Yeah,
on.
people have, like, football banter is going to go for an hour, everybody has to go face their 9 to 5 the next
Oh yeah, what's good?
When you're in school, it's every
You see them every day at lunchtime.
People start cooking on Twitter. I just close them. Yeah, but like, yeah, no, because what's called? Because like, obviously, like, my mom's not into football at all. Father wasn't around, kind of a situation. So like, my mom was never going to pay for Sky Sports.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? So it's like the only place I really indulged in football or anything was when I go to Moyo's house. And like I said,
You were there all the time.
I was there all the time. Like literally, like it's weird because it's like our friendship has gone through so many different phases of like times it was like staying in his house. Like literally, his house is one of the houses where my mom would say, "Yeah, you cool, you can go there for 3 days," and then a week later, I'm still there. Do you get what I'm saying? Because she just knows that I just want to be there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like then his whole family just being like, even down to his mom. His mom knows more football than most man.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like the whole family was just united, and I was there, and it's like, yeah, fuck it, I fuck with this, innit? So
Yeah.
United.
I hear that. Well, yeah, and then back to your story. Your FaceTime your dad.
FaceTime my dad on the pitch at Old Trafford. I was like, yeah, no, this is what I'm supposed to be, kind of thing. In terms of this career, this life, I'm
You
doing.
had that feeling of like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
I was like, yeah.
Have you ever had that feeling yet? Where you're doing something, you're like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Not even
it's
close.
mad. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
But some people have that feeling. They do something like Conor McGregor says when he went to a martial art MMA gym, his whole being was like, this is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Hits me.
Yeah,
Something hits me.
yeah.
Hits me with something.
It's like that. Yeah, go on.
Like, it's like magical
Was
feeling.
that the moment where you and his relationship was like, okay, I get it now?
Yeah. Like the December previous to that, I'd come home for Christmas. The first Christmas I've come home in like at that point like 2 odd years, and we sat and we had a chat, and I was like, look, I know you had this plan and this plan and this plan for me, but like this is where I really want to go. This is the football thing. This is what I've done so far. Like I've done the beginning stages of my coaching qualifications, and we sat and had an open and frank conversation. He was like, look, I understand because I might want you to go this path, but his dad was like a successful tailor in Nigeria. My dad said he can't sew a single thing. So he said it's wrong for him to be like forcing us to want to follow like the path he's done. But he said the only rule I have for you is you have to be amazing at what you do. Like you have to be like, he has Heritage. Yeah. One of the main restaurants in Ireland, like the Heritage bread, like really popular. When his dad used to sew, he was sewing for presidents, the Nigerian football team. Like he was shit hot at what he did. My mom went back to uni at 50 odd years old, got a first and got a distinction, and I did a master's afterwards and smashed it while raising like little kids. So he was like, the only rule I have for you, man, whatever you do, whatever avenue, whatever lane, whatever path you choose, you have to kick ass at it. So being able to be like, Dad, look where I am. I'm on the pitch at the Theatre of Dreams.
Yeah. It's justification because African parents do need that moment of like, we've had obviously a black podcast, we've had so many where they said, oh, a musician, smiles. I showed my mom the billboard, or I called my mom when I was performing here, or Celos DJ says I'm telling my mom I'm performing at all these festivals. They always need a moment where they see you, okay, you're doing levels. Yeah. It's calm. it's like, yeah, I can do this. But that's kind of cool because I'm similar, like my dad, doctor, was always like this path, and he's the reason I love football. But I understand why he played it safe. He couldn't direct me into the football part or push me into the football part because, like, how many you do coaching? Remember, shout out Bambi's birthday. You were telling me the percentage of kids that actually make it.
That make it from
based on
through this whole system.
They're going. Their parents are taking them training 4 different places in a week just so they can have a chance. Like looking back now with all the information, I'm like, yeah, as a parent that came from Africa, I'm not taking that risk with my child either. Like I don't have a backup. I don't have like, if this doesn't work, I'll send them to Deji and to what you call it, those entrepreneurship to learn something, apprenticeship. Like we didn't have that coming here, so I get where my dad is like, yeah, I'm not taking that risk. I'm not taking that risk. Yeah. But it would have been nice to also be like push me into this
support
football
me,
thing,
support me a little bit more
into what I want to do, like what you do, and maybe. The media side of sports content is probably what my lane. I would be like, yeah, I would love to do like what we do here, more so in the football side. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's great. I don't feel like it's my calling the way you feel.
Yeah, but the thing is, are you gonna feel like that until
you actually in that moment?
You're in that moment where you're like, oh, you're in front of the camera, you're talking about football content, and it's like this is just fun, and like this is what I'm meant to be doing. Maybe you should try it. Like, no, it is true because when we did Trade at the Back, I was like, I would mad look forward to that day. Just to talk about football for an hour.
Get your agendas off.
Get your agendas off. This is SoundCloud days. Maybe 10 people would hear this episode. But it was just so fun doing it with Joe. And I still text Joe all the time. The other day, I told him, I was like, we're doing agendas like we always do. We're like just giving out about women. And I was like, this is the foundation of our relationship. Giving out about women and talking about football. That was
like some things don't change.
Life really is crazy, man. Like it's just seeing, like we're talking about time and just like seeing. It feels like yesterday I was a kid. It feels like yesterday I was running down Moyo's house, and now I'm a grown ass man
with responsibilities.
With responsibilities and like this and that, and even just like going out and seeing people that are like kids before, and it's like, bro, you're
like, fully grown people. Sometimes you see kids were getting engaged and married. You're like, how are you doing this? It's like you were small yesterday.
16, no? 12?
Like I saw one of the youngers in the club, and I was like, are you even allowed to be here?
Sometimes you'll say, I'm gonna tell your mom.
My 15-year-old brother is taller than me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, where did the time go? Mm-hmm. I sometimes have to just grab him in a headlock just to remind him who the heck I am.
Hey.
So when they beat you up, you'll know now.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. And they did like kickboxing training and stuff. So soon enough, he might start challenging me a little bit. But for now, I'm still dominant in that battle. I'm gonna be big on
that. I'm thinking I'm definitely gonna put my kids into individual sports. As well as team sports, but I think individual sport just there's certain level of mentality you need to have or it builds because everything's on you. You have to be held accountable. You have to be professional. You have to show up on time. Just certain things that like you'll get from that. It's like religion.
And just, you also have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're better than the next person. But I was gonna say, like, when you were saying about football, and it's like bringing your kids to all these different places. Yeah. Like our parents, I don't think at the time that they had us and the time that we'd have to be doing those things, they didn't have the foundation to be able to do that. Like my mom was working 2-3 jobs.
Very true.
I hardly saw her. What time does she have to take me to football? Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
And it's like, yeah, cool. There's a 0.001% chance that you can make it. But this check that I'm going to go get
100%
is 100%
chance.
And also, that 0.001% chance is we're not getting the benefits of that for another 10 15 years.
And there's no community there you can be like, you know what? This neighbor will take you to football, or I'm gonna drop you. My mom is like, for me, anyways. I could be like, my mom will take you because I have that family foundation here. Whereas my parents didn't. Like, there's no aunties or actual blood family that could sacrifice for your kids. Whereas your friends might do it this week, but you can't ask them to do it next week.
My Igbo mates that used to take me to everywhere. Yeah, like would come. I'd either go to their house or they'd come and pick me up. Like that's how I used to always get to football. Wasn't my black friends. To be fair, I was the only black guy on a lot of my football teams.
And it's not like, again, it's like what you're saying is 100% true. That's why I don't fault them. It's like, given the circumstances, given the situation, I'll probably do the exact same thing. I'm just doing wishful thinking.
But now we're in a situation where I do feel like we're the people that are going to be able to do that because the like you said, your white friends and stuff like that. Their grandparents are here, the parents are here, this and that. They've
like
got
cousins,
friends,
like aunties.
We literally went to go see one of our boys the other day that has his house, beautiful house set up and everything, him, kids, all that. And then it's like one of his friends lives literally right there. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, our kids are probably going to the same school. Okay, can you pick them up today?
You pick them up,
Can you do this today?
Like you even do work from home. I'm working this day, you're working that day. You pick them up that day. I pick them up this day.
I'm working from home. You're doing overtime today. I'll go pick up the kids. Yeah. They can chill at my house. Once you get home,
the importance of community.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like when they said it really takes a village, like it's
they weren't joking.
They weren't
joking. No.
They knew what they were saying.
Yeah, being in the situation now where I'm like just trying to, where God willing, expand the family and everything. You're like, so I'm so grateful. Like people have asked us, do you want to live close to your parents? I'm so grateful my parents are 50 minutes away, and they're also like, it's one of the exits on the way to town, so I could just like drop it, go back
as you're going, drop you off on the way back. Like I don't have to change my destination.
Literally, just go straight. I'm at exit 10. My parents are exit 7. Go to exit 7, back out straight to town.
No,
Plan the
it really
route in
does
his
take
head
a village.
already.
It take a village.
what's called
Shout out.
actually dilemmas with Deji. We'll do this
let's
and
do
we
this and then
what's
wrap
called?
up.
Yeah, you need to leave in a couple minutes, innit?
Yeah.
Alright,
No,
cool.
yeah, we can do it the dilemma properly.
All right, cool. What's called? Dilemmas with Deji. Because it's Mandem on the podcast, I feel like this is a good one to ask about.
Here we go.
I, 26 female, think my husband, 28 male, can't have babies. What's called? You think we would have had all this figured out in the 6 years of being married to him? We've had sex without protection 1 to 2 times a week on average. Now we're trying for a baby. We've been 7 months in. What's called? She said she's tracking her ovulation, taking prenatals and all of that, but they've had no luck. She said it could be me. However, I've had regular cycles and I keep a modest diet. I ran a lot of tests. My OBGYN says everything looks to be good on my side. I got my eggs counted too. Like she's good.
She did her research.
She's done her research.
She's good.
Yeah.
What's called? However, he has always had low testosterone levels, very low drive, and sometimes erectile dysfunction. It's dawning on me that I'll have to have the conversation with him, and that starts with hey babe, maybe it's not me. And she's like, how do I have this conversation?
That's such a hard conversation to have, but it needs to be had. And it's one of those conversations, whatever angle you approach it from, the person probably gonna feel like you're attacking them.
Because as someone that is married, and it's like obviously one day kids, all of that kind of stuff, right? It's just like, as a guy, I've never actually thought, does my ting bang off?
Yeah.
Bro, do you get what I'm saying?
Full transparency here, I've had sex when I was like 16, 17. Bare times I'm like, pull out. Like just and not once have I been caught offside. So sometimes you start to think it's like, am I just skilled?
You know,
or something is off here.
It's like
I had to go do like I had to, and then the thing is, I've been sporty all my life. I still exercise. I don't eat bad except for like on a Friday, but that's like 1 day a week, so it's in moderation. Eventually, at some point, I had to go to the clinic and I had to go get checked, and they tell you have to like make sure you don't let it build up essentially. So either ejaculate on the day or the day before, but make sure you've cleared out your system. So say if you haven't let one go in 3 days, let it go, and then the one that after, it's the one after.
Oh, you need new active ones.
Yeah, because sometimes it's all clumped up together, so they're not swimming well because they're all clumped up together. So a lot of men think like you have to let it build and then let it all off. But no, that's actually the shit ones. It's the ones that it's like clear. So you have to let one go. It's the one after, and you have to do it like I think 0 days before you go get it checked. So you do that. And then I went to do it, and they're like, "Yeah, everything's fine." Well, I again that came to my mind because I'm like, I've been having sex.
So
since
he was
16.
skilled.
Was it?
He was skilled. Sorry. I just had to.
God
bye-bye.
willing,
Is that, you know what? Maybe I just don't be upset.
Because I've heard Fred on 90s Baby be very insecure about that as well. I can't remember which episode. He also said he's like, yeah, I think it was with a guy and he was like, yeah, he says I think my thing doesn't work because I hear him to be 30 and to be sexually active and then never have even a scare or anything happening. You're gonna get in your own head, especially you look at it as like a blessing when you're young. You're like, nothing's happening. But when you're actually trying. It's like, I've heard women for 6-7 years they've tried and nothing is wrong with either party. It just isn't happening.
This is the thing.
Isn't happening.
I always say that it is not easy to get pregnant. I know it's like teenage pregnancies and all of that, but actually getting pregnant is not easy.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I think there's only like a couple of days where it's like, okay, this
can
really bang off.
People, Audrey on 90s Baby said the same thing. Because she's 37, so she was tracking it heavy, and it's only because they did it in that window where she can't get pregnant that she did get. Like getting pregnant, I think it's like it's an 11% chance that if you do ejaculate in, that you will get pregnant because you have days that are more prominent and some days that are just not happening. So back to the dilemma, that was my case anyways. I had to go get checked just to know. So then from here on, God is up to you when the time is come, inshallah, God will do your thing. But back to that one, I was like, you have to have the conversation because if you checked, he has to. Ignorance can't be bliss because at least then you can know how to approach the situation. Yeah. Okay, can we adopt? Okay, what can we do? In vitro? Can we get someone else to carry then you can have solutions. Sometimes people think finding now will ruin things, but sometimes information just lets you make better decisions. Yeah. That's it, essentially.
And you know what it is as well? I feel like just guys never think that anything's ever wrong with them.
Yeah.
Because it's just like,
ego.
Bro, man.
Yeah.
I'm not in this day. Like, do you know what I mean?
So there was a bit of ego because when I did it anyways, they show you like how quick your sperm is. It's like orange, red, green. Mine was into green.
Wait.
Come on.
Wait.
R9
you know when you're on TV, and they have like the magazines or porn. Did you have to go in and
No, they give you the cup. They tell you to go home and whatever way you want to do it. Figure it out.
Is that in the comfort of your own house?
But they tell you make sure it's like day 0, day 1. That's when you get optimum sperm. Because if you say like, nah, let me wait a week, let it build, it's all just clumpy.
Yeah, all the niggas are dead.
Yeah,
but I don't know. That's one that was always kind of like.
As a married couple, you
guys
gotta have an
single
open,
guys, yeah?
open and frank conversation.
Are you guys? Would you guys even want to find out, or do you guys have to wait till like till I'm married then I'll find out? Because that's no rush to find out.
I low-key feel like I'd want to know.
Yeah.
Just because,
same.
like, but then again, like I said, I'm not booking appointments and shit like that. Like I can't remember last time I went to the doctor, let alone actually.
And that's the thing, because when there's no urgency to book it, whereas in their case there's a bit of urgency, and you also like I said, you just want to make informed decisions.
Yeah.
So I would advise her. You have to have the conversation. Say, I got checked because I thought it could have been me. There's no harm of you getting checked. Maybe that's the way to approach it. I got checked because it could have been me. No harm of you getting checked. Then we can make a better decision.
I think in those situations there, for me, if my wife is going to go get checked, I'd go get checked at the same time.
Yeah.
So we don't have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because there's no point of, okay, you go get checked, and then you're like, yo, I'm good. Like, maybe do you get what I'm saying? Like, if we just both just go get checked, then it's like, there's no...
Again, full transparency. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but we did both get checked at the time, and the lady doctor was like, you guys are fine, you're young. And her advice literally was just keep having sex. You'll get pregnant. That's what she literally just says, like I've seen this before. The way I've seen you guys, it's like super healthy. Nothing. You just have to keep going.
But it's also one of those things that when you pay attention to it, it's like, because when you're trying to avoid it, you're not really paying attention to how hard it actually is.
Exactly.
And like, it's like, think about how many times you've had sex in your whole life.
Yep.
And it's like, you're not really thinking about it. But then when you're like thinking about it, it's like, okay, I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. Because you think...
I get nervous and anxious.
You get what I'm saying? You almost think as like, as soon as I want to do this, I just do it.
Yeah.
And baby.
Yeah, like, literally what you're saying. You think like, all right, I'm going to wait. We're going to live together for 2 years, like especially married couples. We're going to enjoy ourselves for 2 years and then we're going to have kids. But you don't know when it's again, some things are essentially in God's hands. Like life is in God's hands. There's nothing you can do.
Like, and it's one of those situations as well. Like, obviously being... I feel like I'm fortunate because like I said, I've grown up in, I grew up in a hair salon and all that kind of shit. So like I hear things and like there are a lot of parts to pregnancies that people don't, I feel like a lot of people don't share. Like there's so many people that I know that, not that I know, like stories I've heard and shit like that, like just being around in salons and shit, like miscarriages. And it's like nobody ever thinks about that. Nobody ever talks about that. It's just like oh yeah, she's pregnant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's
and
like,
you don't know how many times it took to get there, what your body had gone through.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man. Like I don't know, man. Pregnancy is one of those things that is like I feel like not that we take life for granted, but you know have you heard that start of like it's like the chances of you being born are like
I've heard that.
I've heard that. It's like pregnancy and like birth and all of that, and I even feel like when it comes to like giving birth, we just kind of overlook it. Like, oh, that person just has a kid, but bro, she could die. Oh my god! Like
so many. I've heard like being a married FC. I've heard so many men like when they have their kids or second kid, they're like, look, we were shooting for 4 or shooting for 2, whatever number they're shooting for, and they're like, I don't think we'll do that anymore because I can't watch her body go through that again. I can't watch her go through that. They still could. You also got stand for you, especially if like where we come from. We used to just see big families, just see 4 or 5 kids. You're like, wow, man. But then men are watching their women. Even Charlemagne, when he had his 4th daughter, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a snip because I just can't put her through that again. Like it's so, especially as they get old, they get older, their body it's harder for them to go through that process. But now, Mrs. for the dilemma, just say you got checked, you should too, just so we can make an informed decision. That's all it is, really.
Like, and to be honest, just hope that your husband has the emotional capability of like, first you're gonna be like, hold on, what the fuck's wrong with me? And just be like, because like she did it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? She swallowed the pride that she did it. Why can't you go and do the same thing? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's us for this week,
all. Moyo, take us out. Remember you said this outro to me yesterday.
What?
How we end the pod.
Oh, there was something like, shit,
You
balled it.
You literally said it to me yesterday.
It was like, thank you. If you have been offended or didn't like anything we've said on today's episode, you can charge it.
Thank you for listening.
Wait, wait.
Oh yeah, new merch.
Merch, guys, like we said, got
Merch.
the Charger merch over here.
Merch.
What's it called?
The shirt is very nice.
Shout out to boy Lenny, bro. The shirt is fantastic quality.
This t-shirt is
The shirt is
fantastic.
fantastic quality. Let us know if you're interested.
I should wear it out next week.
Yeah, let us know.
And then thank you everybody. Charger Karaoke. We'll have more events. We'll have more things to be doing.
Appreciate everybody.
Appreciate everybody for coming out.
Also appreciate everybody that wanted to come out but couldn't make it, and we appreciate you guys too.
Yeah, we understand summer Saturdays are very tough to get people out, but yeah, thank you for listening.
Peace.